All right, welcome back. This is sheet 9 for TSBP 1112. Um, on this sheet at the top, I should say abortion and halakha, and there should be a big 9. There are 4 sources here. You need to know the first source very well. In the 3 other sources, the Rashi, the Rambam, the Rush, you need to know the underlying parts. The central question here is 2 central questions. 1, when is abortion allowed? 2, why is abortion allowed when it is allowed? Um, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to read the Mishnah at the top of the Mishnah from Mahalot. I'm going to explain it. Then I'm going to go through the 3 opinions, the opinions of Rashi, Rambam, and Rush. I'm not going to read them, I'm just going to explain what they say. You do need to know the underlined parts of their opinions, and I will explain those very clearly. Here we go. The Mishnah Naholot says as follows: if a woman is having trouble giving birth, to the extent that if circumstances continue the way they will, the fetus will live and the mother will die. What do we do in this situation? We cut the fetus out of the mother's womb, and we take the fetus out limb by limb, because the mother's life is more important than the fetus's life. However, once a majority of the fetus has exited the mother's body, at that point you may not touch the fetus, meaning you may not hurt the fetus. We do not choose one full life over another full life. So, at this point we've answered our first question, which is, when is abortion allowed? Abortion is allowed allowed and required when the fetus is threatening the mother's life, and the fetus is still inside the mother. Right? Obviously, once the fetus is outside the mother, it's a child, not a fetus. Now, why is it allowed in this case? Why is the mother's life more important than the fetus's life? Well, there are 3 opinions. There's Rashi, Rambam, and Rush. And I'm going to read through the 3 underlying parts of their opinions, and we'll be able to explain what's going on here. Rashi. Rashi suggests, he insists, that the fetus is not considered a life. It's not considered alive or a life until it is in the air of the world. Anytime before that, it is less than a life or not a life at all. And therefore, right, if we're trying to figure out what's more valuable, the mother's life or the fetus's life, we're obviously going to choose the mother, who is considered a nefesh, a soul, as opposed to the fetus, who is not. That is the first opinion, Rashi. The second opinion is that of the Rambam. The Rambam says, "V'pnei shehu kirodef." The fetus is like a rodef. The fetus is as if it's chasing after the mother. Obviously, right? Even a full live human being who's trying to kill you, who's rodef, right? Who's chasing after you, you're allowed to kill that rodef. So the fetus is like a rodef. The fetus is as if it's chasing after the mother, trying to kill the mother. So the fetus is kind of like a attempted murderer. In any case of attempted murder, we try and kill or stop the murderer before he commits his murder. So the fetus is like a rodef, a chaser, and we therefore are allowed to kill the fetus. That's the second opinion, that of the Rambam. The Rush has a third opinion. The third opinion is that chashiv safek nefesh. The Rush says that the fetus is like a doubtful life, meaning we're not sure if it's going to live or die because it hasn't been born yet, right? And obviously fetuses don't always live, right? So because it's doubtful, meaning we're not sure if it's going to live or die, because of that, we'd rather save a guaranteed life, meaning that of the mother, than a not guaranteed life, in other words, that of the fetus. Okay, so to review, we saw 3 reasons why abortion is allowed when it is allowed. It is allowed when the fetus's life is threatening the mother's. According to Rashi, it's allowed because the fetus is not a life. According to the Rambam, it's allowed because the fetus is a life, or might be a life, but it's chasing after the mother, trying to kill the mother. According to the Rush, it's allowed because the fetus has a questionable, doubtful life, as opposed to the mother as a guaranteed life. Zehu, stay tuned for sheet 10.